All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're ready for the public forum, public hearing session of the agenda this evening, and so is there anyone here that wishes to speak at the public forum? And I know of one person at least by the name of Paula Burke. So would you please step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record?
Okay, I'm Paula Burke, and I live at 523 Spruce, up at 6th and Spruce. So I just wanted to approach the city today to ask if maybe they would consider updating the animal ordinance so that it would include mini pigs as pets. Right now, they're not called out specifically in the ordinance, but they are interpreted to be livestock as if they were hogs on a farm. But mini pigs aren't used for food, and they make really great pets. So just really wanted to see if I could get the city to consider updating the ordinance. I would work with anyone who would be put in charge of writing that ordinance. I've done a lot of research, and there's a lot of information out there about cities in Kansas and around the United States that have included mini pigs as pets in their ordinance. Usually they have similar rights and restrictions as dogs and cats. And I would expect the same rights and restrictions if you passed that, including registration fees, spay and neuter, shots, those kinds of things. And a whole list of other things, but I didn't know how far to go in this. I just wanted to kind of get it, something that you guys might discuss and consider. And answer any questions that you have off the bat.
Would you see them being subject to leash laws?
Yes.
As dogs would be?
Yes, either fencing laws, leash laws. We have an invisible fence, and our dog uses that, and sometimes we have flags out for her to remember where the fence is, but she doesn't usually forget. But they do walk on harnesses and get along with other animals whenever they're being taken out and socialized.
Typically, how large do they get?
The mini pigs get to 50 to 150 pounds, depending on which breed of mini pig. There's pot bellies, which most people are familiar with, and then there's probably about 9 other breeds that are considered mini pigs that separate from hogs. About 15 inches to 20 inches tall, about knee high, maybe a little bit bigger. I have to admit, we do already have one, and I should have approached you before we got her. And my understanding from the breeder is I've seen the mother, and the mother is about 30 pounds, and she's 15 inches tall at the shoulders. So smaller than our German Shepherd for sure.
I'm used to farm pigs.
Yes.
They get pretty big.
Yes, I've heard horror stories about people who thought they bought a mini pig and it wasn't. So I would suggest that there's some sort of a licensing approval thing that goes with maybe getting it checked by a vet before it's approved in the city, before it's registered, among other things. But mostly I just thought, I know there's always, with something new like that, there's always immediate concerns about, what if everybody had one and things like that, and I wanted to be able to answer any questions about that if you had them. So.
Any other questions, council? Why would you want to have a miniature pig for a pet? So
far, because I have been researching for about 2 years about them, I actually get along with her better than I do my dog most of the time. She's, it's kind of hard to explain until you've known one or had one, but they make just as good a pets as dogs do, if not almost better. And they don't bark, well, much. They kind of yip a little bit when they get excited. They don't bark, they don't bite, they don't, especially if they've been spayed or neutered, they don't get much of an attitude. And just those kinds of things. They don't carry fleas, they don't, my understanding is they don't carry rabies. I'm still trying to research because I'm finding conflicting information, but they can be given shots for rabies if the city was concerned about that too. But as far as pets go, I mean, my kids, the pig sleeps with them at night. I know that sounds gross if you think of pigs the ways that most people do, but it's really not. She's litter box trained. She's getting worked on her leash training. So just an excellent pet.
Is it true that you had contacted City Hall to see whether pigs were legal in the city?
I had called City Hall to see if they were excluded as something that could not be had, and I was told that they were not on the list of animals to have or not to have, but that they could be interpreted as livestock. So I didn't know that ahead of time, and I should have known better.
So So you interpreted that to mean that it would be okay to get one anyway?
I think I was a little arrogant in going ahead and getting one, because I knew that there were others that were pets in town, which I'm not gonna call out anybody's names, but I thought, well, surely it'll be okay, it won't be a big deal, because nobody's even gonna notice I have it, but I do have a neighbor who's a little bit, not easy to get along with, and she, within a week, there's 2 pigs that have been in this town for over a year, and within a week, I was turned in, so I should have known better, and I apologize for that, but
Council, any further questions?
That was me.
I don't have any questions, but I know a person that's had one for years, slept with him all the time. He's a good pet.
it's really odd. I never would have expected it until I started learning about them, and I have a friend from college who raises them, and that's where I got mine in Tulsa. She has one, has a little miniature pig farm down there.
That's this guy was the Harvey County Sheriff's deputy in the undersheriff one time.
Yeah, it's kind of, I would highly recommend getting to know one if you get a chance, because they're very cool. She sits on command, she spins before she gets a treat, she will go up if you tell her to get up, it's just like a dog.
Amazing.
A little less threatening to whenever neighbors come over though, so they're not as scared of them as peppered.
Well, if there's no further questions of Paula Burke from the council, we'll take this under advisement and come up with a decision.
Okay, and again, I think everybody has my email address and knows how to get a hold of me if you have any more questions about either mine specifically or how this maybe could be written, because the 8 or 9 cities I've printed off their ordinances are all over the map on how they define it, and I could see it'd be really overwhelming to try to nail down what you would want, so I'd be happy to help. Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wants to address the council this evening during the public forum?